Morning everybody. Hope you're alright. Tuesday, my day off. So I'm down feeding cats, so I thought I'll do a video while I'm at it, because obviously tomorrow we've got budget and everybody's probably a little bit up in the air what's going to happen with budget, what ain't going to happen with budget, how's it going to affect these, how's it's not going to affect these. Well, I've been over this ground a bit with you before with like call for evidence. I mean, I think they're probably going to have the pound of flesh somewhere, but what probably could be one of the biggest dangers is how they affect the businesses that work on them. Because there's all sorts of rumours flying around, like VAT down to 30 grand. I mean, I don't know if this will ever happen or whatever, but surely not, because, I mean, end of the day, to just shut your doors. Because if they put VAT threshold to 30 grand, well, they more or less shut my doors. Because I don't make a lot of money. So, and with overhead, I mean, it just won't be viable for people to pay another 20% full stop. So that's really that. I mean, that's about as much as I can really go on about budget. I mean, I think they're going to hurt businesses if they introduce rates against small business rates. There's going to be some sort of effect on these. But another thing I'm going to go on about is because I've been working on this car, and it's a lovely car, but it's just neglected in certain areas over its life, and I'm starting to think that is becoming a bigger threat than any of these slapping charges on, and not, and like increasing overheads of business that can work on them. And I know lots of these businesses are fating to work on them, because they don't honestly really know what they're doing. But when I like this car as an example, it's like when I look round it, I can see somebody's cared for it, but I think it's been cared for at the wrong time. It's if a lot of these cars have had a big void. It's the same with Mac 4s, with all plating I'm doing on that one over there. They've had a void where they've been left, and that's caused like a magnification of things. It's like I did hoses on this yesterday and that, and I've had to take them off prior to that. But it's all been aggravated work that if car were ongoing and people had been dealing with it, it won't. I mean, probably worst thing is they've probably been put away for 30 years because people probably just haven't had the money to do them, haven't had the time to do them, and now they're like coming down a generation, might be coming down 2 generations that, I'm going to get that done, it belongs to so. But, well, I think some of them have gone a bit far, because I think when they could have needed little push they needed in the lifetime, and I think bits would have been available there'd have been more sort of enthusiasts in the brand. It would have been a lot easier, I mean, it's just something that popped into my head, and I thought I'm gonna bring this up on a video because it's the truth for the classic car scene. I mean that is the truth with the older classics. I mean, it's probably same with new ones because they'll be pulling stuff out of sheds now. I mean, to be honest, I mean it's like I think it was yesterday I saw a Mac 4 Zodiac a guy was 73, where his dad's car, his dad had it from new, it said. And he said, but he's too old to drive it. That might be like a bit scary territory, really, isn't it? I mean, I can remember working on them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was born in 64, they came out in 66. I was 2 when they appeared. I can't recall much of them when I was 2. But when somebody comes out of his state, when it was a lovely car, and then people were jumping up, bandwagon, is it for sale, blah. But it's like with that. What's happened with these? I think a lot of them have got tidied up, but market were buoyant. I mean, like the dealers have set their own network up, selling them and pushing prices up, because just same as houses. If people who are selling things want a bigger price because they get a bigger commission or they get a bigger profit, aren't they? But the actual on the ground guy who's actually doing the work, well, I don't know if there's that much in the job for him to do it. Not anymore. And I mean, if they start piling more stuff on with budget tomorrow, which we'll see, that it'll affect it even more. Because even if people are just going to work on a Sierra or a Cavalier or whatever, a Mondeo, whatever's a classic Focus. I mean, I go around this area here a bit. Well, if they've got a workshop and they're £100 an hour, well, there ain't too many people going to be taking them in there, because at the minute they needs £5 to put a light switch on. That's how crazy it's got. But that's what I'm saying with these older end ones. They've had a void, and so if these have had a void, other cars have had a void. I don't think you're finding cars now that somebody like writes a logbook out when they get one, and they put it inside it, and then they lever it off every time they take it out. They put it in garage, and it goes to garage regardless. I don't care what it is. I think all that era's gone because I think all the guys who can work on them has gone. So, I mean, that's really what I'm just running over with you, because I know they're out there, and I know I do them, and I say go and enjoy them, but I think a lot of the problems that everybody's going to start jumping about at soon, because it is going to change, because the overhead's going to go up one way or other, because the costs are just getting crazy. You know, I mean, government's getting more and more and more in debt. So somewhere, one day it's got to be recovered, and they're going to pull it out of businesses. There's no other way they can. They've got to pull it out of businesses, you know, because if they put a bit of well, they should put a taxation on everybody, really, and get it nailed, because make it even keel. You know, I mean, it'd not bother people if they probably put a couple of pence on taxation. But, well, we don't know where it's going. We don't know where. That's me going off on a political point. But what I think's going to happen is people, if like this car, I mean, I've said, lovely car, it's gone through bits and pieces. It's had a big neglected work on by other people. Well, not done professionally. I'll just say it's simple as that. It's been done. It's been done. They probably think that's fine, that's all right by them. They've charged for it, but it hasn't been done 100%. So it's left car a bit in limbo. Then it's left it in somebody's hands who's got to get going. Now, this car wants work on its arches. It wants work elsewhere. Now, I don't think this car will get this work, because obviously I don't think the chap will have the money to do this work. But so it's going to be in limbo, and that's where I think a lot of them are. You know, a lot of your older end classics are in, because they were stalled in 70s. They were stalled in 80s, 90s, and they've had bits and pieces, but nobody's tackled them 100%. I mean, 70s, I don't think 70s were a great era, when a lot of these cars could have been put right completely. Bit of plating, plenty of wax oil, plenty of under seal, game on. You'd have stripped them down now, they'd have been sound, but we've missed that boat, and now when they probably need it, we've also missed, like, the bits, because a lot of the bits have been sat in a barn, corroding, gone at scrapyard, end off. So that's what we're left with, and I mean, whatever outcome is tomorrow from budget, or how it's going to carry on. I mean, because even if they probably do something in budget tomorrow that's going to affect business taxation, probably won't come while April, but it's going to come. So it's just going to be a little bit more problematic for them. And probably best avenue for all of you anyway is avenue I said to you the other week is like, just get stuck in your saying, a few of you get together and get on them. But that's just me. Bit of something I wanted to talk about with you, and I mean your feedback on it would be really interesting, because it's not all about say what's going to happen tomorrow. If everybody's going to jump on bandwagon and kick off, it's probably not going to help whatever is going to happen. But there's been neglect over a long period of time for them, and it's catching up now, and it's probably catching up when we're in probably one of the worst economic times. So it's probably not best result for them, but. Well, it probably, I mean, me sat in front of this with Majestic Grill on a Series 1 day, and it probably looks sound anyway. It'll make somebody smile when they see it video up on YouTube. So, anyhow, it's just something I wanted to go on about, and it's just something I wanted to put over, because, well, I've said it, and I've said it times many on this video. It's just where it's going to go. So that's what's going to happen one way or other. It's going to go down that road, because it's just been a progressive decline, and like I said, economic problems that are on top of us now. So give a like anyway, like video, subscribe to the channel. You want to see these things and see these things kept going, as long as I can keep them going while ever I'm here, and I can keep my doors open, because that's probably another thing that's got to get addressed shortly probably. And pass a comment if you want to pass a comment, and it's been good to speak to you all anyway. So take care everybody, and I'll catch you later on. Probably shove you something on tomorrow and all. Cheers.